Three can keep a secret if two of them are dead. Have You Seen Me seamlessly picks up where Gossip Girl leaves off, but with more sex, more lies, and more dead bodies a la How to Get Away with Murder and You. When a coveted member of a group of entitled yet ambitious 20-somethings goes missing, their deadly secret is threatened to be exposed. But the real question is, who will be next? Read Have You Seen Me by creator Candy Washington on Amazon Kindle Vella, or listen and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Candy Shop. And today we are going to be talking about the ladies who list. We're going to go over the reunion. We can talk a little bit about the looks, but I want to talk more about what went down. So before we dive into our fun kiki about the ladies who list reunion, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, like this video, and also share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and do the same. If you're watching on Instagram, go ahead and give me a little follow. And if you want to join the conversation, be sure to head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And then you can laugh and kiki with us and share your insights over on the community chat. So yeah, that is it. So with that, drop your candy canes in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your thoughts, because I have some thoughts about the ladies who list reunion. I have to tell you, the reunion was better than the season finale. So that gives me hope. Like I said last time, I thought the finale of the season was almost like its own bizarre episode that really didn't even fit into the style and the vibe of the show. So hopefully that was just a weird one-off. But the reunion gave me hope for season 2, because I bet you we do have a season 2. Hey, Kamiko, what's up, sweetheart? How are you? Yes, we're getting into it. Thank you, sweetheart. All right, so let's dive in. The first thing I want to talk about is this. So it was hosted by Tanika Ray, and as we know, it's also on OWN TV. The first thing I want to talk about, because I have a couple of things where I agreed with what the host did and I did not agree with what the host did, or basically what the host asked. So let's start with where I think they got it right. Okay. Where I think they got it right was the way in which they handled Kiana quit leading the show and not showing up on the reunion. They had a very lovely, very PC, we wish her well, and it may not be for everyone, and that's fine. Love and light on your journey. Thought that was great. I also love that they did not crucify her or put her on trial during the reunion when she was not there to defend herself. And even when Crystal was trying to speak on Kiana's behalf, I love how Robin said, well, it'd be great if Kiana was here to defend herself. And then the host, Tanika, was like, you're right, and they sort of left it at that. They had Kiana in some key moments during the flashbacks, but they really kept the reunion about the ladies who were physically there. And I feel like that is the way to do it. Unlike, if you guys have been watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, unlike how Mary obviously left the franchise and she did not show up on the reunion, but yet every part of the reunion has all been about Mary, 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 Mary. Like every other word out of their mouth other than Lisa is Mary. And as we all know, Mary was the only Black woman on the show, and they had the audacity to talk about what it means to be a Black woman, what it means to be Black and quote unquote racist, and talk all about this stuff about Mary when she wasn't even there to defend herself. So I think OWN TV got it right. So bravo, Andy, if you're taking notes, take these notes. When someone on your show leaves, and even if they were problematic, because Mary and Kiana were both problematic, they're on a reality show, like that's just how it is. On certain issues and topics, it does you a disservice to try and crucify them when they're not there to defend themselves. So I think that's really where this reunion got it right. They were honest that Kiana left the show, she didn't show up, and they didn't try to crucify her when she wasn't there. So I feel like they got it right there. Okay. I also think all the ladies looked beautiful. My favorite looks were Crystal, even though she's my least favorite person on the show, and Robin, even though Robin's my second favorite on the show. I like Tiffany the best, but I can't lie, Tiana actually came out swinging on the reunion. Like, I was like, okay, Tiana, this is the Tiana I want to show up in season 2. Tiana came, she took, like she left no crumbs. She came and she did it. So I was like, yes, Tiana, like, I love you. Keep showing up this way. Oh, hey, you guys. Hey, Amelia French. What's up, sweetheart? Hey, Eric. He says, hey, beautiful. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? That's right, you guys. If you want to join the convo, be sure to hop over to YouTube, give me a subscribe, and join the conversation. All right, let's get back into it. So that's kind of how I felt about the ladies' looks, okay, and how they handled it. I'm going to go through some other stuff that happened during the reunion, and then I'll highlight where I think they got it right and wrong. Okay, the next thing, I love that they still showed the real estate aspect of the show. So I think they did a really good job of balancing the women's drama with the women's jobs, which is to buy and sell and flip the real estate. So I love that they continued to incorporate that into the reunion and really highlight that and the type of clientele they have, from Cardi B to the other Instagrammer they were talking about, to some other people, to Baby Blue, to all of that stuff. So I really did, to Angela Simmons. So I really love that. But one thing that really irritated me and I thought they got wrong was the way they worded the question to Tiana about her husband, where they were like, and by they I mean Tanika, and I'm not bashing Tanika by any means. I think she did a fantastic job. She was beautiful. She was diplomatic. She was great. I just mean the way that the question was worded, and who knows who even wrote the question, right? But the way the question was worded was like, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, oh, Tiana, you're married to this NFL player. Where would you be without his money and connections? Is basically what the question was. And I wanted to jump through the screen and mollywop virtually, not for real, you guys. Trust me, not for real. Whoever wrote that question, like, excuse me, do they ever treat, and again, I don't really want to talk about, I don't want to always make it about race, because again, it was a Black woman asking another Black woman, but just in general, when a Black woman is married to a man with means and he is supportive and loving, why is it she always gets questioned by it? Like, somehow the fact that you are married to a man who has, wealth and means, that somehow devalues what you build on your, but I don't mean on your own, like by yourself. I mean, like, what you build within your own career, within your own life. They tried to do the same thing to what's her name on Potomac? What's her name? Mia. To Mia. Remember, they're like, oh, Mia, you run these chiropractic offices, but like, or whatever she was doing, but didn't your husband support you? Didn't your husband put you on? Blah, 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 blah. They did the same exact thing. But when you look at like the Beverly Hills, like with an Erica Jane or a Kyle, or the Housewives in other franchises, an OC, with Heather Dubrow and Terry, no one ever tries to devalue or belittle what those women do when they have the support, whether it is emotional and or monetary, from their husbands. So why are we trying to belittle or devalue what Tiana has built because she actually has a husband who loves and support her and is in a position to monetarily and through his network and through his emotional support, build her up? I hate that. I hate that. You're married, or even not even married. If you are in a committed relationship with someone, because again, not everybody's into the whole marriage thing, but if you're in a committed relationship with someone, you're damn right that they are going to emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, all of that, support me in my dream, because you better believe I'm supporting his dream or her dream, whatever. So I hated the way they worded the question, and I hated the connotation with it, where somehow Tiana then had to defend herself as if somehow being married to someone who is financially stable and actually loves and supports you devalues what you bring to the table. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. Nobody ever goes to Erica Jane or Erica Girardi and is just like, oh, where would you be without Tom's money? It's always like, yeah, girl, Tom supports you. He put all that money in your account. Look what you did. It's so cool that you're able to have this persona, Erica. Do you know what I mean? Nobody would, I mean, I wish someone would. Nobody ever goes to Heather Dubrow and be like, Heather Dubrow, where would you be without Terry's money? No. It's always, oh, Heather's fancy pants. She throws the best parties. Look at this beautiful house she built. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody ever goes to certain women and ever try and devalue and belittle what they do because they have their husband's support. So that really rubbed me the wrong way. It really rubbed me the wrong way because it also goes into this whole narrative that somehow Black women have to make it on their own. That somehow, if you got support in any way, whether it's money or love or emotion, somehow that devalues you, whatever you're doing. And to me, that's BS. I think as human beings, we should strive for those types of partnerships. Strive for the partnership with the person, you know, whether it's your husband or your wife or whatever, you know, whatever it is. You should strive for those relationships where your partner is able to pour into you. And that does not devalue what you bring to the table, that actually elevates it. Because that's how it should be. We have to get out of this narrative that somehow, if you get support, somehow it's less than the person who had to do it on their own. And I'm not knocking people who do it on their own by any means. I think that is beautiful, and I think it is such a it's a harder journey. Of course, of course, of course. But we have to get out of this narrative that somehow, if a Black woman gets support, she has to then defend her seat at the table. And that really irritated me, and that really rubbed me the wrong way because we don't do that to all women. We do it to certain women, and that really irritated me. Okay, the next is, I lived, and I mean lived. Oh, wait, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box before I move on to the next. Hey, Ifanashi, she says, hey, Kitty K's. That's right, Kitty K's, what is up? Hey, Eric M., it was an attempt to discredit her success. Exactly, and credit her husband to that she was accomplished. It was a cringe moment. Exactly. It was just like, why do you think that you have to make Tiana defend herself and defend her success simply because she got support from her husband, which isn't even above and beyond? That's what your husband or your wife should do in a healthy partnership. I hated it, but I loved her response. She was just like, yes, I have the support, but you know, I also put myself on. And it's just like, don't do that. Don't try and discredit where she's from because of that. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Ibrahim. She goes, yeah, that question was worded horribly, Tiana. It was horrible. She goes, I've noticed in Black women groups, if the majority of them are not financially supported by their men, they'll put down the ones that are. # jealousy. 100%. 100%. 100%. They will try and put you down, make you feel less than, that somehow what you're doing isn't as valuable, which isn't true at all. It just means that you did the right thing and you got a partner who can help you. They hustle backwards and the envy seeps out 1,000%. The host looked nice to me. She wasn't a good host. Looked like she was trying out for the cast. Where was Nina Parker at when you need? I agree. I don't know if the host wrote those questions or not. Like, I don't know if it was like production, but I agree the host didn't command the show. And I feel like the host needs to command. They need to be a person of authority. I felt like Robin ran through the host back and forth. Robin basically hosted that reunion. I had never heard of Tanika Ray. I'm sure she's super successful and is amazing. She was beautiful. She was eloquent. She was everything. But she did not command the reunion. Robin ran that reunion. Okay. Hey, Eric M. That message is constantly reinforced on Black reality TV shows. It really is. It really, really is. And I'm over that narrative. I'm completely over that narrative. Okay, next. So, all right. Robin definitely laid out Crystal. She called her a hypocrite, not transparent or honest. And I have to say, no lies detected when it came to that. Okay, boo boo? No lies detected. I have been saying that since day one. I think we have yet to see who the real Crystal is. I've only seen her representative. I only seen the fake mask she wears. I have no idea who the real Crystal is, but what I do know about her, she's nasty and mean and fake AF. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But there was a huge moment where I thought the host got it completely wrong. And secondly, I was kind of like, you guys are buying this? I'm super confused. I don't think Robin bought it, but I think maybe Tiana and Tiffany did a little bit, but we'll get to it. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Okay. That's right. Tiana came to play. And I loved how Crystal was just like, oh, my real friendships with Kiana. And Robin was just like, friendships, true friendships? Kiana would like to know that. Listen, PSA, Crystal is not friends with anybody except for Crystal. And I felt a little bad for Kira because Robin was laying in on her. She called her evil and easily manipulated. I think that's half true. I don't think Kira is evil at all. I think Kira does seem to be a little easily manipulated. I'm not going to lie on that one, that she did seem a little like unsure of herself and kind of a little bit of a follower, especially when it came to Crystal. But I don't think Kira is evil, and I don't think Kira is mean spirited at all. And I do think Kira reaching out via DM to Robin when Robin had her alleged breakdown. I didn't see any of that on Instagram, but I don't follow them. I think it was coming from a good place. And I think Robin either knew it was coming from a good place but wanted a moment, or Robin was just in a place where she didn't want to hear it. But I don't think Kira is evil. I don't think she's mean spirited. I do think she does seem to be a little bit of a follower and a little bit easily manipulated. So I will give Robin half on that. Let's see what else went down. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the chat box. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, but Shade, I agree. Robin was off the rails. Tanika wasn't ready, and her bias against her showed 1,000%. I loved when Robin checked her when she was just like, "You're into yoga, breathe in, breathe out," and she was like, "Don't patronize me." And I was like, "Yes, queen, yes, 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 yes." She was like, "Don't patronize me. You're not gonna do that to me today." And it's like it's true. If I'm having a moment, don't be like, "Oh, Candy, I know you're into self care. Just breathe." I would be like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. Hey, but I see Crystal makes me cringe. I couldn't take her tears seriously. I can't trust anything about her. I agree 100%. I don't trust her tears. They were crocodile tears. Crystal to me is a dangerous person. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm being dead serious. Crystal to me seems to be like a very dangerous person. And I'll tell you what I mean by dangerous. Like it to me is the type of person who would lie to your face, like dead in your face, while doing something that to stab you in the back, while sabotaging you, while turning you into the cops. Like for example, like on Salt Lake City when they had that fake when Whitney and Heather made up that whole thing about Meredith turning Jen into the feds, which was completely unbelievable and just a joke. I think Crystal is the type of friend that would turn you into the feds. That's what I mean by a dangerous friend. Like I feel like she's the type of person who you would go to crying about your relationship and the whole time she's sleeping with your man. That's the type of person I think Crystal is. I think Crystal is a very dangerous person. She would give you advice and say something to you, but the whole time literally systematically sabotaging you and stabbing you in the back. Crystal's a dangerous person. She's a dangerous person. Let's see what you guys are saying. Kira's coming off a bit ditzy. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's like Kiki. Oh, sweetheart. Like, bless your heart, girl. Bless your heart, Kiki. I agree 100%. Okay, now let's see. What else is going on? So, rock with me on this one and let me know what you think. Put it in the chat box. Put it in a comment below. Let me know. I thought Crystal calling Robin, like patting her purse or whatever the heck she did, an assault was such a stretch. Like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. Obviously, we don't condone violence. Obviously, if someone is getting in somebody's physical space, it's wrong. But girl, boo boo, calling what Robin did assault is the dumbest, biggest reach, dramatic stretch I've heard in a very, very long time. Like a very long time. The assault, girl, you are not assaulted, okay? You are running your mouth, you're flashing your purse, and she swatted your purse. Calm down. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. You were not in danger. Nobody assaulted you. It was not that serious. It was not that deep. And the fact that you're trying to call it an assault just shows us what your character is. And it shows us how grimy you are. And you know what? I'm so validated right now because that again shows you how dangerous of a person Crystal is. If she is willing to put the narrative out there that what Robin did was assault, that's reputation damaging. That could be charges damaging. That could be, oh, you assaulted someone. That's a big deal. That is a heavy word. Heavy word. It's like with Beverly Hills when what's her face? What was her name? Crystal Kongmikoff was saying that what's her name? Sutton violated her. Sutton did not violate you, Crystal. Girl, bye. It's the same thing. It's like words are very powerful, particularly in this day and age. To say that someone assaulted you, to say that someone violated you, those are very powerful, big, heavy words. And given what happened, it's a mess. That's why Crystal's a very dangerous person. She'll go around telling everybody you assaulted her. And that could affect your business. It definitely affects your reputation. What Robin did was not assault. I mean, it really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. That's why Crystal's a very dangerous person to have. And Crystal, you are not coming from a place of love when you kept saying Robin was triggered over and over again. You got to kick out of triggering her. You got to kick out of putting her down. And the reason why I know it didn't come from a place of love is because the whole entire season, every single episode, you had Robin's name in your mouth, behind her back, bad mouthing her to anybody who would listen. And that's why everybody saw you for who you were, except for Kira. Maybe Kira does see you, but Kira's just like, I need some type of friend on the show, so she's clinging to whoever will be her friend. I don't know. But I'm so serious when I say this. Crystal is a dangerous person to have around you. A snake. Smile in your face, stab you in the back. Crystal's a dangerous person. Another reason why I know Crystal is full of it and is a mean, nasty person and has nothing but crocodile tears and empty apologies. She made the shirt. And I didn't even know she made this shirt because, again, I don't follow these people. I just watch the show. Not easily triggered. That is such a slap in the face to Robin. That is a slap in the face to anybody who has ever struggled with their mental health or their mental wellness. That is a slap in the face to anybody who is looking for some type of empathy and compassion when it comes to how they're doing. Not easily triggered. Disgusting. Disgusting. Completely tone deaf. Completely tone deaf, not easily triggered. After everything that happened, it would be different if you said that under a different connotation, under a different experience. But given what happened at that dinner, given the fallout, given the conversation around mental health, and you have the audacity to walk around saying not easily triggered, when the truth, and I also hated when she kept saying that you were, what did she call her? Like, oh, you were overly sensitive. You walk around every day with this trauma or whatever she said. She was so condescending and she was so patronizing and she was just absolutely ridiculous and disgusting. And to make that shirt, again, Crystal, it shows us exactly who you are. A mean, nasty, insecure person. But you know who's not mean, nasty, or insecure? Tiffany, Tiana, and Robin. I love those girls. Like, I want to hang out with them. Like, I love them. I think Tiffany is so transparent and authentic and open. I think she's funny and genuine and great. Tiana, sorry guys. Tiana came to play. She had personality, she had spunk, she had a great point of view. And Robin, we all know, right? Robin is just a firecracker. I have a soft spot for Robin. Robin also understands the assignment. So I love that. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Ibrahim, Crystal's extremely dangerous. She is. She reminds me of some of my family members. Move so covert. Yup, the gaslighting is unreal. 100%. Ibrahim says Crystal was reaching. Yes, Robin shouldn't have hit her. I agree. Crystal tried it. She's a lawyer. If you feel assaulted, call the law. Hashtag girl bye. 1,000%. Same. I was so shocked that she made that shirt that showed me that she was never Robin's friend. I would never. See, that's the thing. They got to get better at these fake storylines because Robin and Crystal, this whole fake best friends, never bought that. Never bought it. You're best friends with someone, but your therapist has never heard of them. Your father has never heard of them. Your mother has never heard of them. You allegedly have no idea about their trauma and their pain and their depression and their mental state of being, but yet you want to walk around claiming to be this person's best friend. Fake storyline. Fake storyline. It's too sloppy and it doesn't make sense. Crystal has the nerve to have a therapist carrying on like this. She needs a new one. She does need a new one because, I mean, if that was even I'm not going to say a real therapist, but I don't ever want to demean anybody, but I'm not sure if that was her actual therapist because to me, the therapist seemed more just was there to co-sign everything Crystal said. Crystal was like, it went left. The therapist was like, it went left. Crystal was just like, oh, you've never heard me talk about Robin, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, you never talked about her. And then she was like, I think we need more boundaries. And there was like, yes, I think it's time for more boundaries. I was just like, so Crystal basically just scripted this whole conversation. And the therapist was there just to be basically just to co-sign Crystal's POV. Okay, Crystal, I see you. Same. I love that side of the couch. I love Tiffany. Me too. Like those girls are like my type of girls. Those are my type of people. I think they're amazing and they're great and just awesome and fabulous and fantastic. Okay, so let's see what else happened. So, okay, Crystal, I thought about that. Okay. I was obsessed that none of the three ladies, and I mean Robin, Tiffany, and Tiana, were giving an inch to Crystal. Like they did not give her nan inch until the end, and I'm gonna get to that. When she was like, I have beast blood. And Tanika was just like, yes, like, can we like get a collective yes? And the whole couch was like, no. I was like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Like, it was like, we all see through you, Crystal. We all see through your facade. We all see through your mask. Like, you're full of it. You're basically full of BS. Like, stop. Have self receipts. Okay. So now let's see. Okay. Mom shaming, right? And then this is going to lead me into the big part where I was just like, I totally disagreed with the host, like on a gut level. Okay. I didn't see any mom shaming on the show or during the reunion. And I am not a mother. I don't want to be a mom. I don't want children. That's not a lot in life for me. And as a woman who does not have children, I did not perceive anything that the women said on the show or at the reunion as mom shaming or shaming women who don't have children. I know my perspective might be a little different because I don't want children versus a woman who may want children, but maybe it cannot conceive or is having difficulty conceiving. So I honor that my perspective may be a little bit different, but I still don't think that anybody was shaming moms or shaming women who didn't have children. Essentially, what they were saying is that when you have a child and you're a mother or you're a parent, your mindset and your perspective and your priorities might change and shift. That's all I thought they were thinking. And I agree with that. I think being a non-parent, my mindset and priorities might shift. I did not think what they were saying was that somehow their time and their life is more valuable because they are a parent versus someone who's not a parent, because that I don't agree with. Whether you don't have children by choice or whether if by any circumstance you're unable to have children, that by no means invalidates your time, your worth, your value, who you are versus people who are parents. That I don't agree on, right? Like I think regardless of whether or not you have children for any reasons, or if you do have children, does not take away your inherent value and how you spend your time and what you do. But there is a difference between someone who is a parent versus someone who's not a parent and their perspective on things. I think my perspective on things are probably different than people who have kids, right? So I didn't think that there was any mom shaming going on with any of that. Where I am going to call the biggest BS ever. But let me preface it with this because I want to be very, very respectful and very clear on what I mean by this. Okay. What I'm about to say, I by no means, and I mean literally by no means, mean any disrespect, hurt, or harm to any woman or man that has suffered a miscarriage. Because that's horrible. Losing a child, whether it was an unwanted pregnancy, whether it was a wanted pregnancy, by any means is horrific and it's traumatic. And my heart goes out to any woman who's had a miscarriage or any man whose partner has a miscarriage, right? So I have deep love and compassion and understanding for any person who has gone through that. So I want to be very, very, very clear because I don't want anyone to misconstrue my opinions on this Crystal character when I say that. So I want to first honor anyone who's gone through that type of loss. Now, with that, I'm calling BS on Crystal. I'm not calling BS on Crystal on whether or not she had a miscarriage because it is not my place to ever speak on another woman's womb. It is not my place to ever have an opinion or a thought on whether or not someone is being honest about whether or not they had a miscarriage. I know my place, I know my position, and speaking on another woman's body and womb is not it. So I'm not saying that I don't believe whether or not she had a miscarriage, because if she says she did, then she did, and that's it. It's not my place to talk about that. But I will give my opinion on whether or not I think that she is conflating and misusing and manipulating the situation in her favor when it is actually not true that she cares. And I'll break down what I mean by that. I think that it was very clear to Crystal that no one was falling for her okey doke. That not only did her co-stars, but also the audience completely saw through her sham, that she was completely fake and phony the whole time, and that people were pretty much tired of it. So she got desperate. And I think the fact that, and again, if she said she had a miscarriage, then I believe that. I'm not speaking on that or not. But I think what she did was, she thinks, this is the thing about a person like Crystal, they think they're the smartest person in the room. They think they can manipulate. They think they can, twist things in their favor. She had those crocodile tears in her face because if you go back and watch, when Tiffany and Tiana are actually, for a second, I don't know if they really did, was buying her BS, she was holding back a smile. She was holding back a laugh. Because at the end of the day, Crystal doesn't give a damn about these women. Crystal only cares about Crystal. So what I think Crystal did was, she took the whole, what happened at the ranch, how Kiana got so triggered, or not, I don't mean triggered in a mean way. When Kiana got, she got triggered. I don't know how other to say it, but I don't mean it in that nasty way. When Kiana got triggered when Robin said, well, women who without parents, or people who don't have children don't understand because we're talking about this and this. I think that was such a real raw moment with the women, and I think that she took the fact that that was a real raw moment to justify her being so gross by being like, well, when I'm trying to talk about how I feel and someone says, well, I don't have time to talk about how you feel because I'm a parent. you just don't know what that means to some people. Like, you just don't know that I had that too. And then the whole conversation came around, switched from, Crystal, you are so fake and you're so conniving and nobody likes you and we're on to you, to, oh no, it's okay, girl. Like, in God's timing, you'll have your kids. And like, I totally understand that. And thank you for letting us know what you're going through and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, wait a minute. I am calling BS on this. They're two completely separate conversations. First of all, Crystal wasn't even at the ranch. So, how are you so affected by a conversation that did not even happen in your presence? You're lying, Crystal. And again, when I say lying, I'm not talking about whether or not she's being honest about her miscarriage. Again, that's not my place to talk about that. What I mean she's lying is, she's lying and saying that that is what bothered her and that's why she was acting so distant and so nasty to Tiffany. No, you're acting so different and so nasty to Tiffany because you don't like her. You're jealous of her. And you don't like the fact that she doesn't mess with you and that she doesn't buy into your BS. And you didn't like the fact that she befriended Robin over you. Because you told on yourself when you had the conversation with Tiffany. It's like, well, you got so nice and so cozy up with, just like an agent or a broker. I think Robin might be a broker, with someone who's just a broker, but like, we're both closing attorneys, and why couldn't you be cool with me? It's just like, that's right. You had to compare her friendship with Robin to the fact that she doesn't mess with you. Right? Because you're that type of nasty person. You can't just talk about what the real situation is, what the real relationship is. You have to compare and try and throw jabs. Like, well, you're friends with Robin, so, well, I'm shocked you wouldn't just be dying to be friends with me because Robin is so beneath us. And if you go back and watch the reunion, it was scary. Crystal literally was holding in a laugh or a smirk when the other people were buying into it. And this is another spot where I thought the host completely got it wrong. I mean, completely got it wrong. Wait, you guys, 1 second. Okay. So this is another situation where I think that the host completely got it wrong. When Tanika said, and I don't know if it was someone in her ear said it or if this is what she came up with herself. But when Tanika had the audacity to say, oh, this is a reflection. This is a reflection of what happened with Kiana at the ranch. You now, Crystal, being upset about, your miscarriage and comments about being moms and how you're now being triggered by this. This is a reflection of Kiana and how what she was going through and about the comment and blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was a manipulation, not a reflection. My mind was blown. I was like, is anybody else believing this BS? I'm confused. I don't think Robin was, because you saw Robin's face. Robin was just like, what? This is whack. No, it wasn't. It was a manipulation, not a reflection. Kiana genuinely was going through some real life trauma. I think she wasn't in a good place emotionally. I think she was going through IVF. Her first round wasn't successful. She was celebrating her 40th birthday. We know in our society, blah, 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 blah. You reach 40, you don't have kids, you're a woman. Oh, all that BS, and all of that stress. I think she was going through a lot. I think she was at a junction in her life. She's like, I chose my career, over having, kids. And now I'm at this place where I'm great in my career, but maybe I want the kids, but blah, 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 blah. Like, I think Kiana was just in a very emotionally fragile state, which I completely empathize and understand. That has to be a very, very tough emotional place to be. And I think that when Robin said, even though she was referring to Crystal, but when Robin said, well, people without kids can't or don't or blah, 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 I think that was a genuine trauma response because Kiana genuinely was in a very vulnerable place emotionally when it came to that. What Miss Crystal did on that stage was not a reflection, it was a manipulation. She manipulated the fact that there was this moment that happened on the ranch when it came to mom shaming, when it came to Kiana's response, when it came to Tiffany and Robin and Tiana, and she manipulated that fact in order to somehow justify her toxic and evil behavior on the show. The two do not equate. She conflated the two issues. And then she wanted to serve up a vulnerable thing of having like a miscarriage. And again, I'm not speaking on any woman's womb, but I think that she used that as a way to deflect and to manipulate. Because if you go back and watch the footage, I just watched it, she's literally stifling a laugh. And to me, that is evil. Robin called Kira evil. No, she should have called Crystal evil. To me, Crystal is an evil, dangerous person. And I don't think we've ever really seen the real Crystal. There's something about her that is really scary to me. And I'm not joking, I'm being serious. There's something very scary to me about Crystal. Very, very scary. I think she's very calculated. I think she's very conniving. I think she's extremely manipulative. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. And I think she realized her jig might be up. And she manipulated that. And to me, Tanika being like, this is a reflection, my mind was blown. I was like, I'm so confused. Who on this planet bought Crystal's act? Like literally, who was watching Crystal and was just like, yeah, those are real, genuine tears. You're right. That makes sense. Crystal was so upset about a conversation that she wasn't at that you had nothing to do with her, with the whole reaction of it. You're right. Like that literally made no sense to me. I was so super confused. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, what's up? What is up, you guys? Yay, my candy canes are in the house. That's right, you guys. If you want to join the conversation and you want to get in on this, come over to YouTube. That is where it goes down. That is where I will sit here and I will read your comments and we will have a good key. Hey, but I see it. She goes, haha, when they said no in unison, I was weak. I died. I was like, no, you did not. No, you did not. It was everything. Because again, Tanika, I don't know Tanika's Bray's work. I'm sure she's fantastic and fabulous. But I didn't get how she was Team Crystal. She was like, can we get a collective yes for Beast? And they were like, no. I was like, thank you. It seemed like Crystal hijacked Q's storyline with the mom shaming bit. Exactly. She conflated it to garner sympathy that she did not deserve. Hey, but I thought mom shaming would mean shaming a mom and not shaming someone that's not a mom. Thank you. I didn't see any mom shaming. Going on. I just Googled it. Mom shaming happens when people criticize a mother for making parenting choices that they have made or would make themselves. Exactly. They use the wrong term, shake my head, LOL. Yeah, I was like, I didn't see any mom shaming. Hey, young Rich, what's up? If this show don't come back, Robin needs to go on Roa. I agree. I think the show will come back. It's kind of, I feel like it will, but I agree. I think Robin was a standout. I think Tiana definitely earned her. They don't have peaches, but she owned her keys, her real estate keys. I love Tiffany. Kira, to me, honestly, was a little bit take it or leave. I could take or leave Kira. And Crystal, even though I think she's evil, scary, and manipulative, I didn't mind watching it, but on a gut level, she's a little scary to me. Hey, but if Q was triggered, yep, you're calling a thing a thing. You're fine. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. Hey, young rich child, that naked stripper's on. I know. I had to block. I'm triggered. Imogene's laughing. Yeah, I had to block. We had a troll. We had a YouTuber troll, and that's okay. It happens. Hey, Nataski, comparison really is a joy gratitude killer. Exactly. It really is. It definitely is. And it's sick. Yep. Ibrahim Neskasi says, facts. Don't speak for folks that ain't there. Tanika tried it. How much did Q pay her? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand Tanika's perspective on this. I'm almost like, did you not? It was an Andy Cohen moment. Did you not watch the same show? Are you not listening to the audience. Like, it made no sense to me. I don't know how anybody went into that reunion other than, bless her heart, Kira being team Crystal. Like, I like, that blew my mind. Blew my mind. I didn't understand it. Hey, but Shade, I wanted to like Crystal. She seemed cool. Yep, on first episode, it went downhill after that. Womp womp. I agree. Yes, Satoshi, she goes sociopathic. I mean, you said it. I repeated it. Exactly. Hey, Princess. She goes, House of the Prince. Hey, just dropping in to say hello. I don't watch a show, though. Oh, all good. Well, thank you for stopping by. I love you, Princess. Thanks for coming. I appreciate the support. Hey, Young Rich. Oh, my God. I agree. I feel like the host didn't even watch the show. Exactly. Exactly. There were so many. And then, okay, for people who are just joining or the people on the replay gang, I'll quickly go over the points where I felt like the host completely got it wrong. But I'll start with where they got it right. I thought they got it right by not crucifying Kiana or going too much over Kiana because she wasn't there to defend herself. Unlike what they did with Mary on Salt Lake City, where they got it wrong. So I'll give them that. But where I think the host got it wrong, and I'll go quickly through this because I already went over it, but just in case people are joining now, the way in which they handled talking to Tiana about her NFL husband was disgusting to me. It was disgusting. Basically being like, well, where would you be if you didn't marry a rich NFL player? That to me was so disgusting. Don't you ever devalue what a woman creates because she has the soundness of mind to marry a partner who was actually a partner. You don't do it to other women. Don't do it to us. I didn't like it. Let's see. Okay, the other thing that they did that I didn't like was the host, to me, didn't have gravitas. Like, she didn't command the reunion. I felt like Robin ran the reunion. It was Robin's reunion. I felt like Tanika wasn't really hosting the reunion. I felt like Robin was. Like, Robin literally played Tanika up and down for Phil when she was just like, don't patronize me. And she got up and walked off. I was like, girl, bye. Like, woof. Like, I felt that she didn't have the gravitas. I also didn't understand why she was biased towards Crystal. It seemed like she was doing a lot of covering for Crystal and a lot of covering for Kiana. And I didn't really understand that either. And then, as we just talked about, I thought she totally missed it. I thought she totally got it wrong when she said that Crystal giving this woe is me story about her miscarriage. And again, I by no means say that by any way to be dismissive of any person, man or a woman, who has lost a child through miscarriage or anything like that. In saying that was a reflection of what Kiana went through at the ranch. That to me blew my mind. I was just like, wait a minute. This is bizarro day. I'm so confused. I just did not understand it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah. So that was it. That was my recap of the reunion. I'm excited if they get a season 2. I hope they do. But I want some new blood. I need at least 2 new ladies. One to replace Kiana, and then another one just to shake up the dynamic a bit. Just to shake it up a bit. So I want at least 2 new ladies. I don't mind if the rest come back. Kira, I need a little bit more from you. Tiana, keep up with what you're bringing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. This has been such a fun Kiki. And if you have had fun, if you've liked this show, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. So Kiki is always better with community. If you are into self-love, self-care, and manifestation, be sure to check out the links in the description box. I have a self-care podcast. I have a Create Your Dream Life course. I also have a Lux Life VIP Facebook group if you want extra help. And I also have a couple of series. I have some books and some movies. And my latest project is called Have You Seen Me? I will play the trailer for you as we go out. But Have You Seen Me? It's really great. It's a thriller. It's mystery. You can start reading the episodes now because it is a serial. So every week you will get new episodes. And then the podcast for that is coming out soon. So subscribe now so you don't miss it when they start to leak and drop. That is right. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box before we head out. I would like some new blood too. So it says Ibrahim. Yeah, we need some new blood, and we need a new host for next time. I'm sorry. No shade to you, Tanika. You are a beautiful woman, and you seem to be really cool and great. But the hosting for this particular reunion wasn't it. Hey Natrasky, the host doesn't even watch the show. They give everyone jobs these days. Exactly. It seemed like she didn't even watch the show. It was really weird. Like, it made no sense. It made no sense. Yes, Ibrahim says that part. Exactly. Okay, you guys, we've had so much fun. Don't forget to check out everything in the show notes, subscribe to the channel, and share with friends. And tomorrow we'll be talking about, let's do New Jersey tomorrow. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and we'll just keep it fun. We'll keep it a good kiki. I love you guys. Mwah. Have fun and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Have You Seen Me seamlessly picks up where Gossip Girl leaves off, but with more sex, more lies, and more dead bodies a la How to Get Away with Murder and You. When a coveted member of a group of entitled yet ambitious 20-somethings goes missing, their deadly secret is threatened to be exposed. But the real question is, who will be next? Read Have You Seen Me by creator Candy Washington on Amazon Kindle Vella, or listen and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.